Welcome to Insights into Insurance with Tom Sorensen of Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
And it's a cold Saturday morning, but it's never too cold to talk about insurance. And it's time now for Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance. And good morning to Tom Sorensen.
Good morning, Mike. Actually, I think sometimes it's too cold to just do anything.
There you go. Just stay home and not worry about anything.
Sit around the fire. Yeah.
Let's kick things off. First and foremost, you had a big event earlier this week, and it turned out pretty decent.
We did. We had what we call our 2018 18th Annual Ag Summit out at Riverland. I always want to say technical college, but it's Riverland College now.
In the lecture hall.
Yeah, in the lecture hall, and we had a really good turnout, and we had some great presenters, and it was very well received, and we had some incredible compliments from it. So, and I want to thank people for coming to that event.
And if you have any questions about what was talked about, or you were at there and didn't really have a chance to talk to Tom or any of his crew, you can always call the office and set up an appointment to talk about the different options that are available as the farmers are gearing up for spring.
Right, and if they want to, they can actually go to our website at americaninsurance.com, and the presentations will be on there to be able to print off too, because there's some really good information in those.
Fantastic. Let's kick things off on this Saturday as we normally do, and we've got an email from a listener that says, "Hello, Insights into Insurance. I got a renewal on my homeowners, and it went up $250. And the agent that I deal with said it's because they insure all over the nation that my company has to recoup after all the disasters in 2017. Does this sound correct? Thank you, Derek."
Well, hey, Derek, super question. And, well, I'm going to say give you an answer of yes, but let me explain some things. First of all, let's talk about the disasters that did happen in 2017. We had $306 billion in damage in disasters. It was the most expensive natural disaster year in history. Along with that, those dollars, probably even worse than the dollars, is the deaths that occurred. It was 362 deaths. So that occurred. There were 17 weather and climate disasters in 2017 that reached over $1 billion in losses.
That's phenomenal, and it is a trickle-down effect. Let's talk a little bit about some of those weather-related climate disasters in 2017. We had the big California fires.
Yeah, the big California fires was the most costly wildfire on record. 54 deaths and $18 billion in estimated damage. And then after that, Mike, just a few of them here I'm going to list out was North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana drought. Extensive extreme drought conditions damaged crops and livestock, $2.5 billion in estimated damage. Then we had Hurricane Maria, Irma, and Harvey. These created a record 3 Category 4+ hurricanes in the U.S., in 1 year, 251 deaths and $265 billion in losses.
And that's a B, not an M. That's $265 billion in losses.
Yeah. And then one here that we would talk about, the Minnesota hailstorm. We did not get that here, but there was in June of 2017 a severe hail and wind and damaged a lot of the metro area, and that was $2.4 billion in estimated damages. And then remember Midwest tornado outbreak, March in 2017. 11 states that day. We had a tornado up by Clark's Grove, but 11 states, including Minnesota, had 2 deaths and $2.2 billion in losses. This is just, I think I did 6 or 7 of them of the 17 U.S. billion-dollar disasters in 2017. So we could continue going on, but I think people get the picture.
It's a larger picture than just what happens locally in the state of Minnesota. It's nationwide.
Right.
Let's talk about, insurance is a pool of people and money. Maybe explain a little bit about this risk pool.
Right, and that's what basically the insurance companies will call it is what insurance is really a pool. Think of it as you diving in pool with a whole bunch of other people. Okay, for insurance, as an insured, you are jumping into that pool when you buy a policy. Okay. Why? Because it is much more cost effective to insure as a large group of individuals than you take your risk on yourself. So example, you pay $1,500 on your home insurance. In trade, the company gives you the potential of paying a loss that could be drastically a lot more than $1,500. Okay, the loss could be a fire, weather situation, a liability claim. So with all these coverages, you could be covering hundreds of thousands, if not coverage into the millions for that $1,500.
We've talked before about insurance and how it is a puzzle and how you want to put all those puzzle pieces together to make a nice collage and make sure that you're covered. Some of Derek's questions was, and the answer is yes, but it involves not just locally, it's a national thing that all goes into play.
Right, and these are some things to consider when you are buying insurance, okay? And I'm not going to say which one's better or which one's worse. It's just these are the things that you have to understand your risk as an insured is it a large national carrier? These companies could be affected more by a year like 2017 than a smaller regional carrier. And I'll give you an example. We offer insurance. North Star, who is one of our carriers, they office right out of Cottonwood, Minnesota, and they write insurance. Great company. They write insurance in Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, and now Wisconsin. So more or less a Midwest regional carrier. Are they affected by the hurricane as much as one of the national carriers that I always say you see on TV all the time? They probably aren't going to be as affected by all these natural disasters. Okay?
We know the ads are out there. It takes 15 minutes to make a decision, but here with Americana Insurance, you offer different carriers. You make the right decision for that homeowner. And we've said before, it's like family. You treat them like family. You find out about them.
Yep.
And you know that when you're putting those puzzle pieces together, it's going to be a great puzzle when it's all done.
Right.
And you know in the long run that it's going to pay off, that you're not going to have all of these surprise issues that come up.
Right. Absolutely, Mike. And, that might have sounded like I was talking against national carriers, but we actually offer national carriers too. Like we have nationwide insurance in our office that we carry. So as you heard, my risk on buying from a national carrier, well, the regional carrier could also be at risk. The risk would be if the region. So let's talk about the North Star, where they were doing business just basically in the Midwest. The risk would be if the region gets hit with mini storms over a year, they have less policyholders than what a national carrier would have, and the risk pool isn't as spread out over as many people, so you could potentially be at risk to see even a larger increases in their insurance premiums if certain things were to happen.
And that's the nice thing about Americana Insurance is they're going to sit down with you. They're going to explain to you what is the best option, be it a nationwide carrier or regional carrier. It's if you go to other insurance agents and they say, well, yep, your insurance is going to go up because there was a natural disaster. We had hurricanes, we had tornadoes, we had wildfires. With Americana Insurance, they'll sit down with you and explain what is the best policy that fits your needs.
Absolutely. And so that's the key. Is which one of those is better, the regional or national? I would say both types have pros and cons, but we can talk to you about what is your situation, and let's look at your situation and find you the best policy or package for you.
We're going to take a break, Tom, before we
Okay.
continue on. We've got some other examples of what would affect. We've talked nationwide, regional, but we have some other things that need to be put into place here. But we're going to take a quick break with the Insights into Insurance with Tom Sorensen, Americana Insurance. And we come back, we've got a whole lot more to talk about as we try to answer Derek's question on what is and why is insurance going up. We'll be back in just a bit.
You got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, Brad, I can help with coverages. Man-to-man coverage, zone coverage, combo coverage.
I don't know, Peyton. I was thinking the types of coverages that your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, like home, auto, business, life, farm, boat, your tour bus.
Products availability varies by state, agent, and other factors. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Americana Insurance Group in Albert Lea and Wells today.
And welcome back on this Saturday morning. Mike Whitus along with Tom Sorensen as we're talking insights into insurance with Americana Insurance. Tom, let's talk a little bit more about some of the other effects that may affect the cost of your insurance, be it on a national or regional schedule.
Yeah, well, and I want to get back to that risk pool too here, Mike, before we go any further, so just kind of let the audience know what exactly I'm talking about here, and hopefully this will make it easier to understand. So if you are a farmer and you and your neighbor come to an agreement, if any of our buildings burn down and we pool our money to repair or build a new one, okay? So if Farmer A has a agreement with Farmer B and Farmer B's barn builds down, but Farmer A helps pay for that new building,
okay,
or it could be vice versa. Now let's just say now a farmer number 3 comes into the picture and would like to join in that agreement. What just happened? Well, what happened was your risk of something happening just went up because you're adding another person, right? Okay. So, however, the cost of the claim just went down because you're cutting it in 3 ways. That's a really good way of looking at a risk pool.
Great example of A, B, and C and how it all comes to play.
Right. Now, when I'm talking about the other effects of your insurance and the rates and things like that going up, the other effects is the insurance companies buy insurance on their insurance, okay? That's called reinsurance companies, Lloyd's of London, things like that, those type of carriers. So when they have large losses in that, well, they pass on. So they're the insurance company that our insureds might be with, all of a sudden are going to see an increase in their premiums because the reinsurance companies are going to charge this company over here more dollars because they had such large losses. Okay, so well, guess who's going to end up paying for that in the long run?
Trickle-down effect.
Right. Now, the positive thing is that you can see that's happening in the stock market and things like that. Now, a lot of your premiums get reinvested, and if the market is doing well, that means that they're making more money on those premiums that they have invested in. So that helps control also the premiums. So hopefully we have more of that happening then. So.
And also for those insurance policy holders locally, they can also help by keeping their premiums in line by doing simple things, keeping smoke detectors in the homes, carbon monoxide detectors in the home, just looking out for anything that may happen, a sidewalk. Of course, now in the wintertime, you probably don't see the cracks in the sidewalk, but all those simple things, you just have to join together as a group and really look at your individual circumstances.
Well, and that's why they call it underwriting. The underwriters sit back and look at what their circumstance is. Do people have this? Do that? Because why are they doing that? To protect the other people that have insurance with that company. So, and the other things that come into play is insurance fraud, and there's over $1 trillion in premiums per year that happen because of insurance fraud. And statistics from the FBI, the total cost of insurance fraud, non-health insurance that is estimated at $40 billion per year. And that calculates the cost of insurance fraud costs the average U.S. family $400 to $700 per year. And when I say there's 7,000 insurance companies that have over $1 trillion in premium, that isn't from just fraud. That's in premiums overall. $40 billion per year is considered how much fraud there is.
There's a lot to talk about, and of course, your folks and your team at Americana Insurance can help whoever it may be. You can just give them a call at 377-2000, or you can email Tom at
insights@americanainsurance.com.
So we invite folks to stop by the office, set up an appointment, and that's going to wrap it up for Saturday morning. Tom, we'll see you next Saturday.
That went too quick again, Mike. Thank you.
Stay warm out there, folks. Wind chills are going to be kind of nasty tonight, but we'll be staying warm, and Americana Insurance bringing us our insights into insurance. Give them a call today at 377-2000.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is intended to be educational in nature. Before acting upon any information obtained during the Insights into Insurance radio show broadcast, consult an appropriately licensed professional.